Okay, sorry for that break. My camera battery almost died. Right. Okay, so what have we been up to? Yeah, we saved the player one. Now let's create a new user, which I saved 03. Is this the instance for the new user? It is not. So just create this guy again. Okay, let's copy this and say player something. Sweet. Right, so I'm done with this endpoint. I don't need it. So I have player one and player two. Okay. Okay. Let's say yeah, it's like 3 a.m. in the morning now. So this would be player one. So I'll server up. Yeah, connection is used. Okay. I believe I had two URLs before. Great. New user data with this what okay. So now with this player one, let us go ahead to create a match. Okay. So entry stake. So the idea of this was really have an entry stake whereby you can have game money, you can have maybe casino coins, just the way you see it in pool. Yeah, I play trade pool a lot. So this is coins where you convert money to the coins and use it to play. I was also thinking in the line of okay, maybe we can actually pull payments, but I have other duties I didn't go ahead with this. So entry stake is 100, allowed players is two players that are allowed to enter the match. Then for headers, let's say player one. Okay, token not valid. Why is not valid? Token is expired. Okay, so ideally I had this authorization here that kind of overrides any other authorization I do inside all these other Postman files. So just do that. Let's go to one now. Good. Okay. So match creation data ID entry stick 100 allow players 2. Players count 1. So players count is the amount of players that are currently in this match right now. It's one player, and we can also see the player data. So the ID, the profile, the stake, the cards. So cards have not yet been dealt in this game, so there's no card. Turn is false. Nobody has a turn to play. Status is connected. Last scene is null, created that to have that date and time. So for the statistics of the match, we have the winner, the start time, the end time, and the duration. Then the status of the match is showing pending because the match hasn't started yet. So let's join match. So remember, player one created a match. So player two is going to join the match. And what's the match ID is one. Okay. So please stay with me in case I'm moving too quick or too fast. We can just go back a little bit and catch up. Okay. So transition will give this player two. Okay. Good match joined successfully. We see player count now is two. I'll have those two player IDs connected. None of them has that turn yet. No cards has been dealt. Status pending. So the next line of action, once the players have successfully joined, the idea for the front end is that there will be a button that they click to start the game, or that can happen automatically. So start match. Okay, and start match. if the person that created the game or the person next in line. So if the person created a game that called the creator in the code base, somewhere I believe I did something like that somewhere. So I call the creator. The creator is the person that can actually start this game. Okay, cool. But if the creator now goes offline, like it's no longer connected, then the next person on the line, the next person that joins, that's the second player, is now having the right to start the game. Also, if that player is no more active, the next player. So there's that algorithm there that does that switch over for us. Sorry about this. Let me sleep a bit. So for example, let's say player two. So remember, player two can't start the game because the creator, that is player one, is still connected. Like it's still active. You can still see him in the game match, in the game lobby. Only the creators or successors can start the match. Successors are those guys that are there after the creator. So in case the creator is not there, like I said, they get to replace that position. Or since player one is still there, okay, match has started. Now, feel my turn is still false because the cards hasn't been dealt with on the board on the table. Match is market. So now the game starts active. So previously it was pending, but now it's active. Okay? So view match, I believe view match is meant for any player and check for available matches. So right now this match is no more pending, so nobody can join. So the match will really show up in the list of available match costs that we filled and that started. So if I run this, right, it shows no data. The reason it shows no data, like I said, the match has started. So you won't really see any match except maybe I've created another one that you can see that one that is still pending. So but to get the match information exactly that is going on, use match detail. Bring the authorizer, see player one. So good. So player one I can see the match detail. Okay. Like there's a reason why player one can see this match detail because player one is a player already in this match. So no other player or no other person that's authenticating to the system to actually see these kind of things. Yeah, it was really comprehensive during this creation. Let me just clear all of this up. Then gameplay, we have the cards. This let me confirm with the code base real quick. Then we retrieve the deck of cards. So I've not really run this populate deck that is in the management commands. If you look at commands and say Python manage UI for populate deck, beautiful. So you see that successfully created card. So what the code is doing is just it creates all the cards for us in the DB. So in case I'm moving from this environment to a different environment, maybe our server or someone that loads the code into the from a GitHub repo and tries to run into the system. What they have to do instead of manually going to create each instance of the card, they can just run that code and this populate text and yeah, everything will be created for them with the images and everything. Okay, so we have our card now. I believe you can view the cards. Okay, you are not yet authenticated. Let's use player one. Beautiful. So you see, you found all the cards. You found the suit, this club. The first one, which is black club. Rank is 10. ID is 1. This is the image. right? So ideally, once the front end consumes our endpoint, all they have to do is use that um, image URL, let's say 127, right? 127 slash this. Yeah. So the front end or the client can actually see the images of the card. So just place it on the board of the playing deck, do some animations or whatever. Okay. So diamonds, red, 10, right? So about this. So all the cards till I believe there are 52 cards. Yeah, 52 cards. Okay, sweet. Now let's do the card. Now, so dealing the cards is coming from the point of where they have started the game, then the client makes a post request to the endpoint in order to deal these cards. And these cards are dealt in a systematic way, right? So in the sense on a normal game of cards, the dealer normally deals from the first player to the second to the third, and then if they are shared on more card, it goes on that flow. So it's systemic one, 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 one. Now, just thinking of that, if I want to show you the code that I used to do that, it's called that is going to take some for loops, that is going to take some sort of data structure, right? That's where I said I really had to implement a data structure into this part of the code. Right, so it's called a round robin. Okay, so I believe let's look at due cards, then it should be in our services. Okay, so let's read the code first. So from due cards, due service, due cards, good afternoon. So shuffle cards are dealt from the top of the deck to each player, right? So the cards are first of all shuffled, and they are shuffled using random function, random dot shuffle. So it gets these cards, right? 52 cards, then shuffles them, then deals them from the top of the deck. Okay, so total of 4 cards will be shared to each player one by one in sequential order, right? Wait, so using so yeah, I didn't specify it, but this is a this is a round robin agreement structure. I wouldn't really go in depth into that right now, but you can look that out later on online. So what it does, it says it takes, like I said, it takes the top of the card and shares the next person, and it follows that flow. Okay, so let's just go into this and show you. So authorization. So it's not really necessary to use player one. I can use player two for this kind of actions, but I just need somebody to be authenticated so that I can map that user in our code. Hmm. That's what I like to see. Okay, player card, game card has no column name targets. Then go to my cards. I believe, yeah, player card targets. Okay, so I haven't made migration. So Python manager UI make migrations. Okay, migrate. All right, sweet. So okay, I haven't gotten my syllabus started. Yeah, give me a second. Okay, I saw you right. So Dinebrolics. Good. Yes, it found some errors for us also. Okay, these are issues with the sending mail. So ideally, it's meant to send the verification code. So it's either the details that are in my environmental variables, like the app password that I use for the email, because I'm using Google Mail service. Mostly it has expired or I've deleted it before or something. That's why it's not really sending. Might check. So let's try this once more. Beautiful. So here's the really key now. So it dealt player cards. Now we see that there are a total of 8 cards because the last IGD is 8. 8 cards have been dealt throughout this game. Now you see the format, it shows card 10, card 34, card 24, card 28, card 5, card 41, card what 16, card 30. Now let's go into our code. Uh, hmm, Gameplay card. Okay. So you know that. So there's another thing that is key also. Remember, I say it is being shared in a sequential order. So the first set are shared amongst player one, player two, as the case may be, player three, player four. One card, then it's shared again, player one, player two, player three, player four, in that format. So you see it, player one, right, has 10, but now the ID he has is not two, it is three. Why is it three? Because the second card was shared to player two, which has the ID of two. So the next card, player three, player the fourth card now jumps to player two, right? Same thing. The fifth card now goes to player one, the sixth card goes to player two, the seventh card goes to player one, the eighth card goes to player two. So it's covered in a sequential format, each by each, then it goes on again. Fine, that's working now. You can see the card ID, or you can see if it has been played or not. So all of them are false. So this card hasn't been played or placed yet. Okay. Yeah. So captain, what is captain? So this person got diamonds number three, diamonds red, got diamonds number three, and he got 34. And click on this real quick. So year one got diamond number 10, right? Diamond three. He also got number 34, diamond nine, cool. Diamond nine. Then he also got 24. What is 24? Spade six. Okay. Six. And his last card, 28. What is 28? A seven. Oh, nice. Spade seven. So what the player two gets? Card number five. Okay, card number five is clubs. Two of clubs. Okay. Club two. Next card is 41, which is club jack. Okay. Next one is 41. Okay, I've mentioned that already. Next one is 16. 16. Spade four. Next one is 30. Okay, diamond eight. Okay. So these are the cards that have been shuffled among these people. Now, this is not a regular poker game. I know I could have started off with that. So the idea is this. For this sort of thing, we will normally not use figure designated cards like Jack, Kings, or Queen. So we have to do away with that. Okay, that's pretty easy. Let me just go. Here's the Jack. You have the kings. Okay. With the ace. You have jack. They'll have queen all the way down here. Sweet. You can delete all of that. And priority constraints. Because of player card. So let's delete all the player cards back. Sorry about this. Then game card. I believe we can delete this now. Hmm. Okay, sweet. Right? 4, 8, 12 plus 40, 52. Okay, so those cards have been removed. So the reason is because for this game I'm not making use of figure designated cards like Jack, Queen, or the King. Just with Ace and the number cards. So let us run this once more again. Alright, good. Now the cards have changed. Okay. He now has 24, he now has 30, he has 39, 17. Okay. 24, 8, 6. Right? Okay, let me just do this way. This should be a more cleaner look. Right? Let's take this all the way here. So I can easily scroll through that. So 24, which is page 6, 30, which is diamond 8. Hmm. Okay. 39, which is heart ace. Okay. Heart ace. 17, which is club 5. All right. Hmm. What's the third card? 39, heart at ace. Okay, cool. Then for player 2, card 3, heart 10, 4, 6, 12. 4, 6, 12. Seems like it's following a sort of arrangement. Diamonds 2. So yeah, I want to also point out that during the dealing of the cards, no cards can be dealt twice to a particular person. So that's why the round robin was very necessary. Right? So we have the stack of cards and no cards can be dealt off twice. That's the beautiful thing about this. Card 6, diamonds 2. Card 4 is what? Spades 10, okay? So spades 10, diamonds 2. Then the last one, card 12, spades 3. Cool. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, so I believe this is where I left things at. And there's a reason for this. Okay, they can also play the cards, fine. So the thing is, like I said, every game has a rule that I'm meant to follow, right? And this rule basically determines how the game is structured, how the game is meant to be played by these certain players. Now, in this game, the main idea is if player one plays his first card, which is the spade of 6, right? If it's spade of six, because it's starting first. So player two should play a similar card to this. Now, does player two have a similar card? Yes, he has both three and he has 10. Mic check. Good. He has both three and he has 10. That's spades, right? Now, if he plays a card that is higher than the former card that was there, if he plays a card that's higher than spade six, so if this person's card is less than, if it's 10, if he plays 10 now, right? It means he now has played a higher card with that same suit than the previous player. So in the sense, he gets to play again. Like, so it's sort of, he has taken turn from the first player. Now player two has the, let's call it the power. So with this power, he can choose to change the laws. He can choose to continue with this spade, or he can choose to make use of either hearts or diamond, right? So let me tick price that I've, what should I use for ticking here? What is this? Okay, this has been played, right? Then spade of 10. This has been played also. So I think player two now has the power to change the card into whatever he wants. So he now drops the next thing, which is this well. So the idea is this: your card will drop, the opponent should not have a higher card than you. Because at the end of the game, if I put a card and you either don't have that card, you have to put something else random, right? And I can keep on playing what I want to win. I know it's kind of tricky right now, but you get the sense of what I'm trying to do. So player two now has the power to either play continue with spade or change to diamond or heart. Remember, he doesn't know this person's cards. This person has the club, he has the heart, he has the diamond. So if he drops spades, player one has already played his only spade. So he doesn't really have any more spade to play off. So, but the thing is, you must play a card, right? So now he plays club of five. What happens here? Nothing will happen. So the power still belongs to player two because player two spade 10 has not been beat and he did not change the card he put. So if player two now puts spade 3, right, right, this is player two. So I need to specify this more. Let's say P1, P2, and P3. Or P1, P2, P2. Okay, so he has played spade 3. Now this has been played. Now player one has to play something that has spade, or if he does, he just drop whatever he has. And in this game, ace is the highest card. So the lowest card you can have is 2 up to 10, then ace. So if I drop ace, there's no card that can beat that card. But if you drop 10 and I drop ace, I've won and I can do what I want. Like I have the power I can in me, right? So this guy has no spades, but he still must play. Mic check. I'm doing that very often. It's actually charged. I charge it for charge 100%. I'm just getting used to the mic check these days. Because the time I was doing this and mic just completely went off. So, yeah. So he is going to think, okay, let him just play his lowest card. So playing this card now when it's not the same card is a waste. Because you have already wasted that card. It didn't contribute to the whole game. You just had to play it because you can't go without playing something in your turn. So he now plays club of five, right? And remember, this card is not equals to. this card, right? It's not equals to or greater than. I know this. They don't show me for this. This is wrong. It's not equals to this card, right? So this card is a waste automatically. Okay. Now we are to seeing this, knowing okay, this person has played this card. So now player two now has two things to do. He either play his heart of 10 and hope this guy doesn't have an ace. Remember, only an ace can beat a 10, right? Or he can decide to play his diamond 2 just to waste it. But from what you can see now, just give 10 seconds pause. Who do you think is going to win this game? Player 1. Player 1 is going to win this game because if player 2 drops diamond, player 1 is going to see this and player 1 has to drop that. Now, the game has rules, like I said. So if the player has that card, he can't try to be smart, He say, okay, he wants to keep this card because it's high for later. So there are rules that checks the player's cards to see if the player actually doesn't have that card. Then flags it as, okay, you actually have this card, you must play this particular suit. Now, you play diamond, player 2. Player 1 now plays 8. Now, player 1 now has power because 8 and 2. Like I said, the lowest is 2. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is right. So put some space here. So now player two is still in power because this guy couldn't beat a card that was spade. So player two is still playing, right? So he plays his diamond two. Fine. This card hasn't played, right? So now player one looks at this, he smiles, and he has a card that is greater than he has a card that is diamond actually greater. So this card now is less than player one's what? Diamond 8. Right? So player one has the power. Do you get? So this is played. So we're now left with the single cards, right? Everybody has her up. So automatically we know that player one has won. Because remember, nothing beats ace. 10 is lower than ace in the ranking. Right? So then he plays. Remember, player one has power because he has played the higher card. Diamond, which is higher than the diamond 2 that player 2 played. So sorry about this. So player one then played his ace of hearts. Or hearts is the highest card. Player two is defeated, right? And then his card, he still has to play, which is hearts of what? 10. So close. So close. Okay. So automatically the winner is player one, right? So this is our loser. Okay, so this is how this game is meant to be, right? I just literally play this game right now for you based on what we got in this postman over here. Right? So let me just take this part of that size. So based on this postman data over here, I just literally play the game for you. So there, like I said, there are rules now. We have to account for every rule. Right? I believe I started the rules, but I didn't really go far. I had to take up more important tasks on some other project I was working on. But yeah, it's a fun game to play and to have. You can also have more than one players on it. Right? So let's really start some code now, some brainstorming. I've been talking a lot, man. Right? I'm too tired of hearing me talk. So whoever is watching this, I appreciate you. Okay? Now go to the match services. So good code practice, by the way, is best to have your views.py code strictly for views. What do I mean? Look at this. This code is to create match, right? It's using a class-based view with API view decorator. It has a function post. Function does what? Gets the serializer passing the request data. The context. In our context, in this case, is the user from the request. Takes the serializer is valid and saves it. Then gets the match instance from that serializer. Then it uses it to get an instance of the match instance, an instance of the match, which then sends as a data to the response like sent. So alongside match creation successful, also get the data. Else, this is not valid fields. So this is a proper views. And then your serializer should be for serializers. What do I mean? Check match serializer. Right. So let's use match serializer example. Right. So match serializer is a model serializer with the match. We have the fields that we need. We have read only fields. Exactly. So also getting some extra details like we have players count, and the statistics and the players, right? So all these are gotten from other serializers in our code, such as the player serializer, the stat serializer. If you watch these are used for players, get players, right? If you have defined this as a method field, you actually write a method with the get prefix and make use of that. So when Django sees this name and notice that it's a serializer method field, it it is anticipating for a function within your class that has a prefix of get and has the next suffix, which is players in my case, that is similar to this. Same thing for player count. Player count with the prefix of get underscore. Same thing for statistics. Statistics with the prefix of get underscore. Right? Let's correct this real quick. Um, so not like every developer has that little quirks and stuff that make them unique. Okay, so player count gets a read only field is ID if you want to show. Entry, validate entry stake, right? So you don't really have to use the validate function that you normally use in your serializers. You actually validate a specific thing, right? Not really making use of the validation to validate everything. What do I mean? So we have entry stake. Entry stake is here, quite alright, right? So we can actually just like we had players, we had the prefix of get. We have entry stake, we have the prefix of validate. So by doing this, Django knows that okay, this function is meant to be a validation function, which is trying to validate the entry stake. Entry stake here is meant to be decimal. So from this, if the value is less than 100, so what is saying that the entry stake is using to enter the game must not be lower than 100. So that is just what the check is doing. Same thing, allowed players, which is here, put the prefix of valid underscore. Django already knows, sorry about that. Django already knows what you want this function to do. All it does is check if the allowed player is less than 2. Remember, it's a multiplayer game. There's no AI that you can play with. So it's with you and somebody else. Either with you and somebody that the game automatically matches with, or with you and somebody that you share the code with, so that you guys can actually challenge yourselves and have a nice time playing the game. Mic check. Okay, that's all. Okay, so our create function. Now notice that what we have done here is we have done our best to limit business logic from visualizers, right? There are things that can handle it, and the other faster way of doing some kind of things. Yes, we have this validate function here. In my utils, I also have some code like verify matches here. I have services file that has, I believe, Yeah, we have the match services separate. For these actions like deal cards, start match, join match, I'm not touching the serializers in this case now. That services that are defined in the code base that are meant to handle all those issues, all those jobs or tasks. To create, also using with transaction atomic, I highly recommend this to you guys because normally I used to code, I just write it like that and something around here will break, right? But this first one has been created already. And since here break, this code like this won't really run. This has already been saved in the DB. So now there's this kind of mismatch of information in our database that we can't really relate to. Because there are some cases where you want to get the players that are in the match. For example, let me go to match and show you this. Match as it get players, right? Which filters the player object with the match ID to get all the players. So now imagine this broke at this point, match has been created. So this function will literally return an error or it will return false, right? Or it will return nothing in the case, which is wrong. So transaction atomic, if anything in this code breaks, right, we first log it and then we will raise the validation error. And the best thing is this, with transaction atomic, we are sort of locking this whole action, right? So I've locked this action, and if one action to fail, the whole thing is going to fail, right? Transaction atomic just know we're locking it, and if everything passes, that's when it passes. That's when it's actually saved. You know what I mean? In the database. Here, good practice, always put logs within your code base because if you have a code that is in production, system that is in production, logs will be your best friend because you actually track what is going on for every user, every activities, every endpoint that was hit, every error that you got. You can also do for every DB operation that happens. So there are a lot of things you can do with your log file. It can get bulky over time, but there are smarter ways which have helped in the previous place I work with to go around that, but I'll not really discuss that in this video. Okay, so maybe separating your business logic is better because right now I'm able to read this code even though it's been a while since I wrote it and know what is there because of the way it was structured. Take note of this key, take note of this statement that's in triple quotation marks, sorry, triple quotations in under every function that I have here. Why? This is key because if you let me show I say this is key. If I say validate, if I say match serializer equals to match serializer, right? Then I say match serializer dot validate empty. Now this is what I say is important. If you hover over this, right? Now you see this text over here. Now so raise now this is very important, right? So empty values, no, that's not what I'm looking for. Sorry about this. Validate allowed players goods. Yes, that if over you see this, check if the allowed player is less than two. So that text they are seeing there right now. Imagine you imported this somewhere very deep within your code, or a function very deep within your code, and you really want to know what that function is. You don't have to hold Control and click to actually go to that function. You can actually hover over this. You can hover this, and then you see the text of what this is actually meant to do, right? What it's actually doing within your code. And it's just a very nice thing to have. So yeah, let's go to our services. Well, let me create some space here. So like again, to join match, we don't really have to touch this realizers because what join match really doing is verifying the match. And by verifying this match is a function which I've already defined in our utils.py. What it does is Okay, if the match ID is present in request data, and it checks if the match ID, if the match instance exists. So it checks if it is present in the data. And thank you, Jesus. If it is present in the data and checks if it exists, then either returns this or returns the or raises a validation error. Good. Then match service or join match. Join match now adds the player to the given match. So that is the endpoint that we accessed so we can add the player. 342. Okay, great. Great. I don't want to see all this right now. Let's close. I believe in. Oh, so my back. I need a very comfortable chair, man, because this is not electric no more. Okay, so for gameplay, we have services. And inside of services, I believe we have three services, right? Oh, there are more than three. Cool, cool. So we have the rule service, the shuffle service, the deal service, and the play card service. Self-explanatory names, always keep your code base or your nomenclature in your code base very easy to read and very easy to understand. Because instead of class shuffle, someone might just do something like class shuffle service, shuffle service, right? This would work, but then again, I, as another developer coming to that same project, I'm seeing this variable name or I'm seeing this class name. I don't really get the sense of it. And remember, if there are no text in those triple quotations, right? It doesn't really give any further information. See, I'm hovering over this, I'm just seeing class short serve, right? But if I hover over rule service now, I'm seeing more things. I'm seeing game rules, right? Rules, cards per player, number of cards each player gets. This is beautiful, right? Hover over deal service, same thing. Card dealing amongst players. Hover over player card, playing the card in the game. So yeah, keep so so yeah, you're already getting a sense that there'll be a lot of advices for maybe devs that are trying to leave a junior position. Also, in your yeah, you can talk to leadership and all that kind of thing, and you can actually grow your soft skills. My check. But in your code base, it's best to write your code as something that is not yours, but as something that a bunch of people are going to come onto the platform. So I don't need to call you to ask you what this function is doing. I need to read it, I need to see it, and it's made obvious to me, right? So keep in mind, they're not just coding by yourself, they're working, just say Google, right? Because there are other developers also on that team with you, right? So this one to really mention rule service. So cards player, the player forecast, cool. Superiority rank, this one I define the superiority 2 to 10, then ace. Okay, then initialized with match player card. Okay, then enforce player turn or be the player's turn in the match to play. Okay, so I believe when we dealt the cards, to get the cards here. So if we get here, we dealt the card. So if we get the match detail once more, we should see whose turn is it to play, right? So so this is the player one, right? You can see that cards. And let's collapse this. Then that turn, yes, true. So it's player one's turn to play, and player two. See, yes, player two is false. So ideally now, once the cards has been dealt, it's player one's turn to play. If player one is not there, then the next player, like I said, is going to also take the lead. So this there is the creator who starts the game with the player one, and there are the successors that comes afterwards. Okay, So enforce player turn, it must be the player's turn in the match to play, fine. If not, sell the player turn, validate error, not player's turn to play. Sweet. Enforce card suit rule. For a card to be played, it should have the same suit as its predecessor. Okay, this is the same rule. So if you can remember what it did here, where for you to actually play, you need to have a spade, and also player two had to play that same spade. But as this player two's card was higher than player one, he had to he could change the game to whatever he need, or he kept on playing with the spade. The preference at that point. So, but if the player two, if the player now to play does not have the matching suit, any random card can be accepted. So that's what he did here when player one didn't have a spade anymore, because spade six was his only card, right? So he played club five. Although he could play club five, but that is not matching the suit, and that is automatically him. It's called the waste card, like I said. You just wasted that card, right? Fine. Then it returns true if the player has similar suit. If the player has no similar suit at all. So, like I said, it's a waste card, but it's still a compromise in the sense that okay, this player must still play, so let us make a compromise. So I mean, this is here we check if the player is actually telling us the truth that they actually don't have that type of suit. Because I've seen in the game, okay, not seen in the game whereby this player actually had something like club two, like sorry, like spade two. Player actually has spade two, and he plays it, right? He can be keeping that card for later, and that wouldn't make sense. But along the line, we're seeing that the cards are following themselves. Look at this now. Once spade is played off completely, spade is never played again. So once the card has been played off completely and another card is reintroduced, that card is also played off completely and that card is reintroduced. So you see diamonds played completely, diamonds played completely, hearts played completely, club played completely. You won't see spade being played and spade being played somewhere down the line again. That won't really make any sense, right? That is the whole rule of the game has been destroyed. So another rule is to enforce the card suit rule, like I just mentioned. Okay, and from the player does not have the previous card suit. Okay, so yeah, this is where the compromise happens. We're actually checking if the previous card suit is not in the player card. The player card from the match, you're able to get the player cards and filter, okay, for the player, okay. Player cards for using, okay, for player card, PC in player cards, PC.card or suit. Okay, so this one thing you need to take this. This is called a list comprehension in Python, right? So instead of having to make use of your for loops, which takes lines of space and doesn't really make your code clean, right? Advancedly, they when you are making use of O notations, right? You discover that your code is actually taking a longer time to run than when someone does this, right? So I'm not really going to go in depth in notations right now. What this is saying is for PC in player cards, that's a player card in player cards, then get this. So it's the same thing as saying for PC in player cards, right? Then saying, okay, this is literally what it is. We are ready to tell me player card equals to this, right? We are saying for PC in player cards dot append PC dot card dot suit. Now, look at these two different codes, code one and code two. Which one looks more cleaner? And I bet you this code will throw an error because at this point, you're already with defining what player cards is and calling it an empty list already, and they are trying to look into it. So that's a big error from that part. So what this does, it gets all the cards, it kind of appends it for you already and assigns it to that variable. So yes, remember you can match a variable name into an existing variable. That can also work, right? The variable name can be assigned to the same variable that is used holding the data. That also work. What this does is like I say, list comprehension, put it in the list for you already, and assigns it on your behalf. That is much cleaner code. Right? Resolution cat suit does not match. Message compromise return to. Okay? Determine cat superiority. Now, this rule is written where we had this. Now, in this area, there was a cat superiority play. Right? At this point, there was a power play. Power play, like I said, in the sense that you drop a card and I drop a card that is higher up in the rank than yours. Did I just hear the whip? Okay, I'm good, I'm good. So I play a card higher up in the rank than yours, so I get the power, right? That's what this function is trying to do. So to determine the card's superiority, let's give it a quick read. Evaluating the card played is superior than the previous card. In other words, if the current card is higher up the rank or lower down the rank than the previous card. So that's what it's just trying to do. So it returns higher if the current card is higher up the rank than the previous card, and returns lower if the current card, that is card the person is playing, is lower than the rank that the previous card that was played. Simple playing, if this is greater than this is higher, if this is less than this is lower. This is a case whereby the current card was greater than the previous card. This is a case whereby, right? Okay, exactly. So this is a case whereby the current card was now lower than the previous card, right? So this should be the array. So about this, right? So that's what it does. It gets the previous card, the current card, it gets our superiority rank, which we have already set up here. Cool. Then it indexes and gets the rank from it, right? If the current rank is higher than the previous card. So what this code does is this: you already have a list, and from a list, as you know in Python, let me do something here. I should have a lab. Let me create like a labs.py so I can just be writing things instead of writing them in the code. So we have a list, just a list of people, just a list of ages, right? We have 10, 50, 40, 60, 70, 20, right? Normally, we can print age, right? I believe so. Let me run this and see. Okay, so about this, yeah, good. So you can print age, right? That's fine, that's cool. But then, what if, so we are using the index to get the value. But what if we want to use the value to get the index, right? So I'm trying to explain to you what the card superiority was doing in this case, where we used index and we did if the current card is greater than the previous card, if the current card less than the previous, if the current card less than the previous card. So we'll say print, right? Get this now. Age dot index of 50, right? So if a user gives an input like the current card, we'll use it to compare if it is here and to get the index. So if we print for this, we're going to get 50. If we print this, we should get 1, right? Good. We got 50 and we got 1. 50 and 1, right? So that's what age index is. The index is just basically doing that sense. So for able to get this, now look what we had here. We had spade 6, spade 6. Remember, 6 is where. Let me close all this. Six is around here. Zero, one, two, three, four. Six is four on the superiority rank. Then we had 10. Zero, zero, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. So 10 is 8 on the rank. 6 is 4 on the rank, right? So 10 and 6, 10 is obviously greater than 6 already. So that's where the power play happens. That's why I check the current card was greater than the previous card. If it turns higher, it turns lower. It's finished. So these functions are made use when you play a card. Okay. So now from what we have here, cards were dealt, cards were played, the game ended, we had the winner, we had the loser. But how are these cards now going to be played in our game? We're going to play it in the sense where we're going to I'm using a play card service. This is playing a card in the game. So for a card now, this way, like I said, like I said at the beginning of this video, if you really want to test how good you are with logic, just build a game. Because as a simple game of dropping this, sorry, I don't know if you can see this from that angle. I have this mouse. For a simple game of dropping a mouse like this, and then another person takes this mouse and drop it, right? It's a lot of logic to go on there. Like, hands down, that a lot of things, a lot of careers in this tech world, a lot of things can build in the tech world, but game development, nah, it's up there, you know. As I see games like GTA 6 has literally been postponed to next year, you know, because they see how it has to make like 10 years apart, man. 10 years apart from GTA 5 to GTA 6. So game development is a lot and it's a lot of years and yeah, you really want to get a good game and you have good developers, good graphics, good animators, good sound actors, a lot, right? It's a lot of time, a lot of planning. So same thing as what we're doing something really basic here. This is even basic than your solitary that you know or your Ninja What or whatever that you play. Ninja What. I don't know if you guys can comment what I'm about to say. Just put it in the comments so that I'll know what I'm so that I can see this. I might not watch this video again. I'll edit it, but I only watch it at this point. But put this comment where I can quote me that I said I will do a video where I'll be like a live stream of building a what game, Ninja what game, because that's a really fun project. I've thought about it before, not really had time to pin it down. So yeah, you can just comment that so I can know that I say something like that, please. If you can, that would be so. To play a card, we we do a lot of things. We ensure this the player's turn. We confirm the card has been played already. We ensure it's a matching card. This is predecessor suits. We evaluate the card ranking, right? So I believe this I left off because I believe there's still a lot to do with this, right? To enforce the player turn rule. Remember, player turn is a rule that we have in our rule service. Enforce player turn, enforce card suit rule, determine card superiority. So, enforce player turn if the player is not cardinal assigned to the player. If card played, card has already been played. Six if there's a previous play, that's to enforce the card suit rule, right? So this in the sense of sticking if the previous play, in the sense that it could be the first card that was played, right? So if the match the get cards played, so from match we have this function, or let me call this module that says get card played, and it just basically gets all the cards that they played in the game. So if no cards, sorry about this. One second. I define what a bottle. So if no cards were played, it will just return an empty list for us. So so yeah, where were we? Okay. if match the card played, if it's not, else card target equals to true. So if it's not played before, because again, I say the rules are much, right? Again, we need to make sure that we have a way to track that this card must be the target for the next person to put. The next person now can change the card. This card must be the target for the next person to put. This person doesn't put anything. This guy now can change the card, makes this the target. This guy puts something greater, and this guy player wants to change the card, make heart the target, which this guy did, and he still lost. Right? So if the first card, if in a match they get cards played, there are no cards, else that card will be the target, and we say that. But if there are other cards, we enforce the card suit rule, then if it's similar, I believe we have a similar there. Okay, so it's either a compromise if the person doesn't have the card at all, but he plays the card, or if they have the card, it makes it similar. Okay, cool, cool. So if it's success and it's similar, we'll have the superior test to determine the card superiority. If superior test is higher, we fetch the card from DB, we set the card as the new target, take the card, flag it up as played, flag it when it was played out, and save that. Right? Not returning anything at this point, we're just making the play. And at the end of the day, mm, yeah, I know, right? At the end of the day, the card will be played. Okay, so there's a redundancy here because this code can work for this. Also trying to save this again, so extra unnecessary DB operations. Clear out on the function DB, clear the turn equals to true, clear the save. Mm. So that's one thing I feel. I don't like code that are redundant. I always try to see a way to get that. Huh. Okay. Let's create utils of UI file. It's going to be update card status. Okay, it's going to be right. Let's pass this one now. So what are we dealing with? Target played. I guess so. Target was none. Played none. Played equals to false. Okay. 8 to update the card instance after it has been played. Let's say 8 help. So update the card instance after it has been played. It has been played. Okay. Then we take the card, which is a card instance. Then say from play. I can okay then in the same place I can say from dot no dot spot card. Alright. Target itself non-lossless false. Then I'll say card dot refresh from DB card dot target equals to, also our target there, card dot plate equals to plate there. Okay, what else? Mm-hmm. Card dot plate at equals to time zone dot now. Then from Django dot use import time zone. Okay. Let's return out. All right. So this is always going to be true. What I can see, because play equals to true, play equals to true. So let's get this out. So play equals to true. Okay, nice, nice, nice. From dot use import read card status. Let's see card status card instance updates. Right? I believe it's a better name. Okay. Then here you can say card instance updates pass the card. Then target was to true. Then target save. You can move all of these codes. Right? You have a much cleaner code, lesser code. Same thing for this section also. Card instance updates. Give the card target off. Okay, target is true. Oh, cool. Cool. Target is true. Okay. Then this code is redundant because if match the cards play used to handle it with card has played program using a new card, then this is redundant for sure. Then okay, makes sense, makes sense, makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense a lot. So we after this we also going to check if variable is the target, if it's compromised. Is the game done? Now from the code I'm tempted to look at this and check and see the game has been completed. Because my check. Yeah. Tempted to say it has been completed because from what I can see, we're enforcing card rule, so it must be the same, or we can have a compromise, right? If it is similar, try to get which one is higher. Mm, okay. Mhm. So we can do this card dot target. Okay, if it's higher, then only returning one. Only superior test is lower than card of the distance and the target is false. That makes sense. So if the card is higher, update the card, make the target. If it's lower, so update it and make the target. If the match dot cards played, do we need this match or anything? Okay. And yes, we are done. Right? If success and is similar. So what if it is not similar? Let me look at this real quick. That is coming from the enforced card suit. So, suit. Which one is coming? Okay, so this compromise card should still be played, right? Sorry about this. So two things. Okay, say if success, Elif, Elif. Consider this. It is still true. So there's no case where it is false. Mm. Thinking of a name, enforced card suits. And say, can say card suits. Let's say with like suits. What am I calling suits? Suit check. If this equals to similar to this, plus a compromise. Also save this right, but don't make it the target. Okay. So this code is really looking nice, but still no. We see better cleaner way we can fix this particular section. But yeah, if it works, I'll just make a compromise. Fuck man. No swear words. Okay. It happened around 78:48. Sure. 78. Okay. I think that should be it. Then let's move this code. So our server still running. Okay, it's server still running. Let's go. Let's play a game now. Mhm. So we are going to try to mimic this same sort of gameplay style that we saw here. I just realized we didn't initiate the player turn, right? Because yeah, I know there was something missing. There's something missing because at this stage, player two took turn, like he took the power, okay, and he took the power, which means he can still compromise. So two things here from the code. Player stone is always equals to true, which is not correct. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Have another function. See, player turn over. Player don't switch, right? That'll be player. Mm-hmm. Okay. Same thing. Player instance updates, right? Player instance updates. That'll be player. Sure. I believe it's a good practice of in job, yeah. So I say from March dot models dot player. Okay. Then turn equals to false. Same thing, help to update the player instance after playing a turn. Okay, so yeah, the fresh, like fresh from D. So the reason I'm using fresh from D is because in the sense where we could have some data saved or it is going to experience, let's say, yeah, so there's this thing, right? Where when multiple operations are happening at the same time, there can be a deadlock in the sense that when one information hasn't been saved or it's not properly saved, it is now being used somewhere. So information can kind of mix up, right? So for example, we have state processes happening. These processes are happening to what's happening one after the other, right? But when one process happens, it's meant to be saved. So in the case of it not saving, the processes can get rearranged in a way, right? So that's what I'm doing. So what I'm doing right now, I'm always refreshing from DB. I'm trying to get the actual data from the database, not what has been edited before. So say player, just like I had here, player dot turn, plus whatever turn is, right? And player dot save, we return player. Fair enough. Player instance of it. So two things, like I said, if the player now has the turn, you can choose to play whatever card. So the card suit rule will not apply to them anymore. You can do it this way. You can check if it's their turn to play. And also check if the last card that was played, which is the target, is assigned to them. So in that sense, it makes us know that yes, okay, let me really show what I'm doing now. So in this game that we played, this is player one, played six, player two played 10, took the power. Now he played spade three. Remember, he could play anything at this point, but he chose to play spade three. Then this guy didn't have made a compromise, played club five. But then he played, player two now played diamond two, right? Remember, the target was spade three because it was his turn, right? Now it was turn now, and the card that was still the target because this card is like I say, it's a waste. It was not really counted because it did not beat the superiority rank for this spade. So since this was the target, it belonged to spade two to player two. Player two now in his next turn, once it is turn and the last card played, which is a target, still belongs to him. You can simply play whatever he wants. No, I'm telling you, telling you, like, make a game, just make a game. You, the logic will flow, right? So next time you're in the sort of advanced system, Okay, right, I work with fintech, right? So there are actually some logic there that when I'm saying it, like, oh, okay, 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 like easy reading, like, because I've already trained you've trained your mind to other projects, other lot of scenarios. So I'm dropping advice as if I'm a good man. Okay, thank you, Jesus. All right. Yeah. So if it's the player turn, I believe someone here, the enforced player turn, good. That means that turn, that part has checked now. So ensure card to so we should first check. Like I said earlier, I didn't like this. I don't like the way this place is. Like it's cool for me. It's cool, yeah. But having a lot of ifs and ellipses moving about to me, it's not really organized. Yeah, we can still work with it. Still work with it. I still have to find a place now to check if the card was paid last is this player's card, and that should be before this enforced card suit, or it should be inside this enforced card. Sorry about that. Now, okay, so things compromise similar power play. Not speaking of the word to suit. So compromise is when you are wasting a card. It's your turn, but you don't really have a target card. That's fine. Similar is when it's your turn and you have the target card. That's also cool. But we should have another one, which is when it's your turn and the last card played was your card. So you can really play anything you want at this point, right? So if that is there, so it will be like Ellis, suit check, cost power, power play. Mm. Thinking of a word, like investing, one of the things in best practice is when you have a variable that is actually relating to what is happening. Power play, similar, compromise, then sustained, sustained, man. The sustained card instance updates of that card, it becomes the target, man. Like, it becomes the target. So if it's similar, it will still be diamond superiority. If it's a compromise, I'll just say it, but it won't be the target. Trust me, the tone is always changing. So yeah, the tone should always change. So update player instance, that player turn is true. Hmm. So this instance updates, icon updates, card plate updates. Okay, so let me filter this because I've used this a lot. So issues along the way. Um, The top here. Card played up with that's available. That so it's always so the player always here, always has the turn next. Cool. Okay, so he doesn't always have the turn because at this case here, player two still retain the turn. So I won't really do this. If it's higher, sure. Right? If it is lower, so it's only when it is higher than other cases. Mm, good, I understand now. So it's when it is higher, even if the person's former is to be true. Right? Oh, yeah, also if that card is sustained. Mm. So in compromise. Well, okay, on track. We're on track. So remember I say sustained is sort of them being the last person that played the last card as a target. So you have to still be forced. If it's hired, right? And okay. So from what I can see here, there's no other place where player two comes twice. So it's just player one, player two, player two. That's the place it comes twice. So yeah. It's only when it is higher. Okay. Player one, player two, player one, player one. Yes, so player one is higher, so player one body. Okay. We are good, we are good. We are good. Good man. Okay. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Mm. So how does the next player? Because we enforce the player turn by enforcing player turn, we're checking if it's your turn to play. So how does the next player play? Because I get it, right? Player turn updates. We turn it off. We are meant to turn it on for the next person. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If not turn, then mm, want to get the next person who's to play. That logic is there, but I'm still trying to figure out a way. This one would say, let's pass on this for now. Let's say switch to the next player play. Let me just resolve this so sustained, right? And the only way it happens, right? Early. if previous outplay dot player equals to the player. So about this. Okay. Equals to self dot player. Then message equals to sustain return. Okay, we don't really return, so let's return the message. Right. Else. Okay, just space this up. Okay. So notes sustain is used when player is similar. Player is similar with a previous hard rate player. Okay. Those card plates their instance. Sustain. And so um, yeah. It's, um, when the player is the previous card player instance, okay. I'm trying to avoid this word similar there so that because no we had similar so it would look confusing, right? Sustain is used when the player is the previous card played player instance. Beautiful. Okay. Nice, nice, nice. Then let's jump back to the utils. So switch the next player to play. Switch the next player to play. How do we get Jesus? How do we get the successor? Mic check. Okay. Yeah. I appreciate the hell out of that gum. So, how do we get the successor? Alright. So we're going to match. Okay. Get the creator. Right. So coding is plain. We have the list of players from the first to the last. The gameplay is shifting this direction. So if we're able to get one particular player, you can also get the next player by the side. That's a question. I can I can believe that there was some kind of algorithm for this back in school. I didn't pay attention to well. To get the next person in the line, we can get them as a list. We can get the index, appendix. Beautiful. Beautiful. So what do I mean? Can I just say that? Let's go back to our labs. Okay, let's just use age, right? Now, if know that the third element, right, is 40, okay? Want to know the next element beside it? You can say you can get the third element index, right? Which is age dot index, the third element. Then you can say the fourth element will be equals to third index plus 1, then print age of the fourth element, right? Let me run this diagram. So if this gives us 60, we are correct. Beautiful, give us 60. So what do I do here? We already know this third index is 40. So we're trying to get the next beside it, which we don't really know at this point. So we're saying, give me the index. So we're giving getting so I've gotten the so at this point, the index we got here is index we got here at this point is 3, right? No, 0, 1, 2 is 2, right? 0, 1, 2 is 2. So if you increment this, you are basically saying what? 2, sorry, 2 plus 1, which is 3, which is this third element here, right? Then we are seeing age, this same thing are saying age 3, basically. So able to get 60. Hey, let's fire down, So let's go to our utils again. Why is this not saved? So switch the next player to play. Mm, right? So they're gonna give us a match. Okay. Then if not turn, because we already know it's the player's turn. But if we already know if not turn, that means this player turn is going off. Then this next player turn should activate, right? So if not turn, the players equals to match that gets players, right? And this get players, which is a single to that count of players. Guest players. Get them as a list, right? Since I've gotten them as a list now, we already have this player, right? So this is a player going to be well, let me call it, we're going to pivot up this player to the next. So I'm going to say pivot player equals to a player up there. So go to the players dot what what do I get here? So I'm curious. Yeah, I'm curious of the type of data. Okay, let me just yeah. Then the previous player, next player equals to right. S player equals to previous player plus 1. Hmm. Let's call it index. Then next layer equals to layers dot index. Okay. Okay. We are getting index. Okay. Just call it straight. Layer index. Okay. I'll say next layer dot dot turn equals to true. Next layer dot save. Then return next layer. Okay. Switch to the next layer. Okay. Mm. So I'm still skeptical what we have here. What's the guy wants for? This gives us sort of a bunch. Right? And try this value sandbox dot UI. So say from March dot modules import March players equals to March dot get players. Okay. Print players type. So this one, more than in March. Okay, of course. Tempting related importing, no non package. Where are we? Yeah, this has to be Django thing right there. Okay, so let's just follow the long route which I was avoiding. What's the point of what we're doing? We're trying to see if this would work, right? And we can't have something outside what we have. So to play cards, I'll turn this off. Then the players equals to match dot get players and players print type of players. And yeah, also print the players in. No? Let's see what happened. Uh, yeah, sure. Metric. Okay. So I should be wrapping this up very soon. Just need to test this. So our server up here, server is up. So play cards. Okay. Layer one. Beautiful. This argument itself is it? Okay. So is it class function? Hmm. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on right now. There will be much instance set to it. Right. Okay. I think the issue. Right. Okay. So class query dot that's what this will give me. Read the values. Yeah, one getting the class of the list. And so what if I put it as equals to area, the list of it, layer, or layer, layers. I mean, right, right, okay, okay, that's cool, that's cool. All right, so I've gotten what I wanted. So I just wanted to make sure it was going to give me a list. So if it's a list, I'll know that whatever I'm doing here in this Peloton updates could work. So layers equals to layer, uh, for layer and layers. Beautiful. Previous player dot index player. Yes. Still need to do a check. It's all good. I want to print the player type also. Just have some things to separate it here. Right. So clear object one. Good. Right. Hmm. But now these two aren't really matching each other. Let me see this. Health dot state. Okay, that's not this one. Okay. So should this work? Because from what we have here, getting player objects are getting this. But then this is still in this. And this is a list. Okay. So what if I getting all the players and this just getting a single player? Okay. Yeah, it's fine. I'm just hacking this thing, bro. Yes. Not surprised. Mm. So in this case, we got the values. Okay. Mm-hmm. You know what? Now, I didn't really want to come to this, but you know, we have to consult the oracle, because yeah, I don't really want to waste time on this. Let me just copy this. The daddies of Gen Z developers, they call it vibe coding. So, okay. Terminal. Uh, used it. So they go there. Review that once I have put the US in the list um, the layer index layer to get the layer what I am sure since this I'm not sure what the real guy who do ChatGPT I tell you see this nigga the gas will floor you know also do this thing let me go to let me go to Gemini interview ChatGPT are crazy. Okay. This should work. Beautiful, beautiful. So this is definitely going to work. So this I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say print yes, right? All right, all right. I know what to do. I know what to do. So instead of doing it straight away this way, straight away, say print clear my check. Print clear ID. Okay. Head index clear dot ID. Okay. Previous clear. Okay. Okay. Now this will get the ID into a list. Then to get a clear index, clear ID which is one. Once or whatever it is, once I was cutting that. and keep the next player as the index. Right? They'll say next player equals to match dot get players where and in match dot get players. So this is where we can get a particular player. Okay, this is profile. Okay, it's through the profile. Let's check it. This is player dot get dot future. Yeah, player equals to next player dot first. Okay, now this should work. All right, this should work. Okay, this is 504. What? Damn. Okay, so this should work. All right, all right. Yeah, we've gotten our game. So if not done, switch to the next player. Right. Okay. Okay. So our server is up. Let's play game. So I'm going to move this towards the side. Then we'll have our DB also here. Hmm. So for the detail of the match once more, we can see that. Hmm. Let's get this again. Okay, so for the player number one card, so it's player number one turn to play. To play cards. So I'm just going to write this. I won't have to constantly go 24, 30, 39, 17. So 24, 30, 39, and 17. Right. So for player two, 3, 4, 6, 12. Sounds planned. It's really just for me to get the IDs. I don't have to be switching back there. To play cards. What do we start? So player one started with six of spade. Six of spade is 24 in the D, right? 24. Mm-hmm. Sorry about this. I also put the ID 9, 11, 13, 15. Okay. 10, 12, 14, 16. 10, 12, 14, 16. My turn. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. Let's play cards. So we're playing player one, right? Player one is playing spade six. Spade six is nine. How about arrow? Must be a string. Mm. Let's see. Okay. Just, I just want to believe that is the issue. So quick check. Hope no card has been played. False, false, false. Good. False, false, false. Good. So let's go again. Right. Mm-hmm. This one we are going to play. Yeah. So yeah. So this is atomic. So that wouldn't count. So the issue should be okay. So yeah. So let's put it in match player. Match player. So we added match in front. So I'm now passing here, which is taking it off. Match. Michael. Match. Okay. Okay, good. So one last check to ensure it wasn't okay. False, 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 false. Good. Okay, let's play this card now. What again? Analysis of player into field. These are match details. Okay, let's investigate. Player, text, filter, ID. Sorry about this. That makes a lot of sense. Last time, okay, false, 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 false. Here we go. Thank you. Card played. So player, so player turn change from this guy to this guy. Okay, so it must have worked, but not sure of this message. Yeah, I'm not sure of this message. Player turn changed. Let's start. Let's take this off. Right. Even the put logs. Okay. Yeah. Log. Log info. Player turn source change. Okay. So we should really put this log here. Not filling it, So um, login port get logger log post to get logger name. Okay. Log dot info. Yeah, this is exactly where we need to place it. So let me just grab that code once more. Change from previous layer. I say change from, sorry about that. My check. Change from layer dot email dot profile dot email to next layer dot profile dot user dot email. Okay. Mm. So if it is higher, you have done. So the tone is meant for that particular player. To not play again, right? But if it's true, means that player is going to play. So if it is sustained and if it's sustained, uh, okay, yeah, one track, shouldn't be. Because if it's sustained, that means wait, what? That itching my head here since like hours back. Let's do this one more time. At this point, this guy had the higher card to get to have the turn. So he gets out the turn, which is true. Right? He doesn't switch to the next person. So at this point, he still plays again. But then him playing again is sustained. Okay. He doesn't have the next turn. Okay, we're on track. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We're on track. Okay. Just check the match details. See. Good. So this card has been played. It should not be stored anymore. Beautiful. Should be the next letter. Beautiful. Beautiful. Works, works, works. So the now I don't know how long I'll be talking, and this mic was actually dead. Yikes. Okay, let me charge this in a second here. So gonna get the charger. Well, you tried though. You tried 1 hour plus. That's a nice battery life for such a small piece of gadget. Mic check. That mic check is very important right now. So yes, it's not his turn. It is still his turn to play. Even still, just play. And you can't really play the same card. Card has already been played. So what's next? So in our house, his card is now sort of the target, which I did not include. I'm noticing. Okay, that's a quick fix. You just have to go into match over here, into match serializer. Then for okay, so inside player serializers, we have player card serializers. Alright, plate, target. Okay, let's run that back. Nice. Now see the target. So this is played and this is the target still, right? Mm-hmm. Issue. Issue. So the target is still showing true for this guy, but you should have switched, right? Okay, that card updates. Mm. So why is this still magic? The question now is why is it still true? Because at this point it was the lower card, so its target is meant to be false. Was going this way. And now I've not really split it like this since I started this, but the action is getting crazy now because why is it still the target? Shouldn't be. Shouldn't be. Okay, this doesn't take account into. Okay, yeah, I've figured it out. It doesn't take account of the previous card. So you can see, how did the previous card played? It should. Wait, get previous card played. Okay. So we have match by previous previous card. So now, if not target, then previous, or rather if target, right? Previous card equals to match the previous card. Wait, okay, good. And previous card target equals to mm, okay, it's beautiful. This is beautiful. So, so I need to go into the DBA now to actually stop that card from being played. Right. Okay, so mm, so the cards that are played, so cards that's the target. So nine was played. So let's change back to false, back to false. So notify this guy. Let's save this. Or good. Save this. So let's make that play once more. Issue. Sure. I will have to update everything. Okay. It's easy. I just hold down control then click on where you want. So you can write a bunch at a go. That's beautiful. Okay. So it's up. Yes again. Card please. Send this again. It is true. True. That's what I'm talking about. So it's now false. Wait. So we get it now. This user is we still haven't gotten what determine who the user should be. Right? So from the whole analogy, the user should be the last person. The user should be the owner of the card that was the last target. Right? The user should be the owner of the card that was the last target. That should be the winner. If you get the winner, we have to check if all the whole cards might check. Okay. So since my battery is low now, I'll just pause this for now. Okay.